Do you have a passion for helping people with their money, but you just don't know how to go about it? Maybe you already have a career and you're not ready to do it full time. Can you be a part-time money coach? Well, we're going to find that out because we recently had a subscriber that is interested in helping people with their money. He already has a career and he wants to know, does it make sense to pursue his passion? Well, we're going to find out that and a whole lot more on the latest Good Financial Sense podcast. This is episode 141. What is going on, GFC fam, Wealth Hacker Nation? It is your boy, Jeff Rose, and I'm always here, always grateful, always happy to have you here on the podcast or the YouTube channel, wherever you might be watching or listening to this. And this is one of I just love doing these type of episodes because you, a listener, have a question and you're interested, curious to hear what my thoughts are, what my expertise is. That's right. We are doing another Ask Jeff question. And for those that want a question answered on a future podcast, we've got a few different places that you can go to. But for the one I'll mention on this show, it is goodfinancialsense.com/ask. And if you go there, you're going to see at the top of the page, Ask Jeff of Good Financial Sense a question. You also see a nice picture of me giving you a thumbs up, which basically means that you can ask me anything that you want. Does not guarantee that I'll answer that question on a live broadcast, depending on what that question is. Let's keep it PG, people. But no, you can ask me any question on money, anything on entrepreneurship, on family. I mean, I really don't care what you ask. If it's a good question and I think it's going to help others, then I will happily answer that on a future podcast. Once again, you can go to goodfinancialsense.com/ask.
All right.
So what is the question of the day? The question of the day comes from Chris, and this is what Chris wants to know about his situation. So Chris has this to say. He's been following me for a while on various social media outlets. Thank you, Chris. That really means a lot more than you'll probably ever know, but I truly appreciate that. You really respect what I've accomplished and my opinions on certain topics. So Chris mentions he's currently in the software industry and he's looking to move into financial planning. All right, that's awesome. I've started taking the CFP courses and my thought is to start part-time as a financial coach, helping individuals and families get their finances in order, and then eventually help hopefully move into full-time financial planning. Before I finish this question, I mean, dude, Chris, let me say, the fact that you've already purchased the CFP courses and you're already going through them, I mean, to me, that is a testament that you're serious about this. And that is something that I don't want you to discount, especially if you really want to get into financial coaching or money coaching and helping people with their finances. That says a lot about you. The fact that you've already committed the finances, you've already committed the time, and this is something that you are passionate about, that you're serious about. And don't discount that. Make sure that you mention that whenever you are talking with people that might end up becoming eventual clients of yours. All right, so let's finish your question here. I was wondering if you could offer any advice to me in regards to this. Do you think that this is a viable option? What was the most important thing that you did in building your own business? Thanks in advance for your help, Chris. Chris, thank you for asking. I almost said thank you for answering the question. No, you are asking the question, and I'm going to do my best to answer. First and foremost, do I think this is a viable option? Without a doubt, absolutely. And I don't know what the time restrictions with your job. I don't know if you have time that you can do this on the side. Obviously, I don't know your family situation. Do you have young kids? Are you married? If this is something that you're passionate about, it may require you to sacrifice some of that family time that you have been accustomed to. Maybe not. Maybe you are just super efficient at what you do and you can pull this off where you don't feel like you're being pulled in too many directions. If that is the case, man, I give you props for that.
Good for you.
Now, before I dive in and answering your question with a little bit more detail, I think it's important to note that many of you that don't know the difference between a financial coach or a financial planner or financial advisor, there really isn't a lot of difference. Both a financial coach and a financial advisor is going to help people with their finances, typically more like money management. And that could be budgeting, tracking their spending, how to prioritize their savings. Now, the one big difference, and this is a huge difference, is that a financial coach or a money coach is not going to give you any specific recommendation on investments. And in fact, they can't. Like, that is against the law. You have to have a securities license if you plan on giving specific investment advice. And that is key, because you don't want to get, that's where you could get into trouble. And if you have a eventual goal, becoming a financial planner, and you're already giving financial advice as far as like specific investment advice, that could get you in trouble. So really the big difference between a financial coach and a financial planner or financial advisor is that the financial planner or financial advisor has some sort of securities license. This could be a Series 7, it could be a Series 65, a registered investment advisor. You have some sort of security license which allows you to give that specific investment advice without getting into trouble, so to speak. So that is a big difference. And it's also important to note, and I had to do some research on this just to verify, but as a financial coach, there is no specific requirement that you have a certification or a financial coaching degree. Now, that being said, there are financial coaching certifications, which is like, okay, if I don't have to have one, then why do they have them? And that is a great question. I'm just going to say, I assume that's because why not? Because if we can offer a financial coaching certification and people will pay for it, and I think in some cases people want to look professional. They want to look like they are legit. And if you don't have any of these credentials to back you up, maybe this is going to help you. So here is just one of the certifications that you can get. This is the AFCPE, which stands for Accredited Financial Counseling and Financial Education, I believe. I had to look this up. Hopefully I got that right. Accredited Financial Counselor and Planning Education is what that stands for. And you can actually read here what the Accredited Financial Counselor, so the gold standard, comprehensive life cycle financial education, providing the knowledge and skills to assist clients in complex financial decision making. A accredited financial counselor can address your immediate money challenges, create a plan to achieve your unique goals and dreams, and build a sustainable foundation for long-term financial well-being. There you have it. That is what a accredited financial counselor can do, which basically is what a money coach or financial coach can do. But do you have to have this certification? You don't. It is not a requirement. You don't even have to have a college degree if you want to be a financial coach or a money coach. I mean, basically, if you have a passion for managing money and you have a passion for helping others to achieve that same type of success, you have the ability to be a coach. Now, that means that you have to find people that are willing to pay you for your coaching services, and that is a whole other part of the equation. But that being said, anybody and everyone that is interested in being a financial coach has that possibility if that's what they desire.
What do you desire?
So now that we have that established, let's talk about if you are interested in becoming a financial coach like Chris. I think the thing that I would want to say at the very beginning is knowing exactly what your money story is. What is your money story? What is your success that you've had with managing money? And this is very important. It's important as a marketing tool, but also it's very important to earn the trust of the people that you are trying to help out. Like, you have to have a story that they can resonate with. Now, for me, once again, I started off as a financial advisor. I already had my securities license whenever I was trying to find new clients. And a lot of my story, I shared it time and time again because I was younger. I didn't have any certifications. I had my Series 7 license, my Series 66 at the time, was not a certified financial planner. I had a finance degree, so I had some of those quote unquote credentials, but didn't have any certifications, didn't have an MBA, didn't have any of that alphabet soup at the end of my name on my business card. So for me, it really was about, what is my money story? And it was important because the people that wanted to work with me, they wanted to be able to trust me and wanted to know, why am I doing this? Am I doing it because I'm trying to rip them off or try to sell them something so I make a big commission, so I can fund my life goals and my financial goals with like the big cars and the big houses? Or is this something that I am truly passionate about? I don't know if I did it intentional, like, I need to have a story. I need to have my money story. But I guess what I realized the more that I started meeting new people, especially potential new clients, prospects, that question came up a lot. Them wanting to know like what my money story was. And they didn't ask me like that, but just kind of like, what made you get into finance? What made you get into becoming a financial planner? And for me, a lot of my story was, both my parents filing bankruptcy, my dad dying with a negative net worth, me making some of those same financial mistakes and realizing, I don't want that to become me. And then making a huge change in the way that I approach my finances by making savings, living within my means a priority, and just sharing that. And not in a salesy way, just in a, man, this is me in real life. Like, this is why I do what I do, why I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and why I don't see myself ever doing anything different, which is showing, hey, I'm going to be here working with you, not just to retirement, but through your retirement years. Lo and behold, I did not realize I would end up selling the practice and doing more on the online side. But I still have a passion for money and finance, hence why I'm recording this podcast, why I have the YouTube channel, why I still have the blog, goodfinancialsense.com. It is part of how I'm wired, and just I love it. And that is why I do what I do, and that is my money story. So it's important that you understand what your money story is, and if this is a way to brag on yourself, then so be it. Like, have it be a humble brag. Oh man, I was $100,000 in debt, and then I went on an extreme debt payoff plan where I sold all my stuff and I was working 2 jobs and I paid off all that debt in like 2 years. Like, that could be your money story. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just a matter of knowing what you're passionate about and to be able to, people want to hear that excitement. They want to hear what you're passionate about so that they can achieve, whatever it is that you've achieved. I mean, that's kind of part of like how you're trying to find like-minded individuals that you can help coach through this process. So once you get your money story established, the next thing that you want to know and be very clear on is, what is your specialty? Who are you going to help? I know with Chris's case, he mentioned that he was in the software industry. He says here, he's like, I'm a startup financial coach helping individuals and families get their finances in order and then eventually hopefully move into full-time financial planning. So individuals, families, I think you want to be a little bit more specific or more niche. I always say niche personally. I always hear niche. I'm like, niche? That's niche.
Not my niche.
What is your niche? Is it families? And let's think about families, right? Is that new families, maybe with young kids? Maybe it's families that have older kids that are getting ready to start college. Maybe it's helping individuals that are trying to pay off student loans. It could be freelancers. It could be men. It could be women. Try to figure out the type of community that you want to help. And the more that you focus on a specialty and a focus, it makes it that much easier for you to articulate what you do and what your specialty is, but also for other people to refer other people to you. And you're in the software industry, so maybe there is, you want to target software industry professionals. I don't know, maybe they struggle with budgeting, and that's what it is, or maybe just with your upbringing, with your family history, there might be something there. Maybe you're into running marathons, or you're into fishing, or maybe you're into music. That could be another way to focus on that type of subgroup. And I know it's you could eventually broaden, who you want to help. I mean, it's going to happen through a matter of, I initially started helping retirees, but then with that, just because I had young children, I was friends with younger people, they would gravitate towards me. When I started the blog and started doing more things online, I had entrepreneur types that gravitated towards me. Might be some of the same reasons why you found me on social media and why you've been following me. For some reason, you gravitated towards either my style, what I was the content I was producing, or just the things that I shared about my personal experiences. Either way, there's something about that led you to continue to follow me. And I would encourage you to figure out what that is for you so that others will just naturally just gravitate to your story and what you have to share. So figure out what that specialty is, and you can take it one step further and also identify, what is your specific solution? So what are you going to do for these people? Is it you want to have a clearly specified budget within 30 days or 90 days, or to have a debt payoff plan established like in 30 days, whatever that is, right? Having some sort of specific solution that you can offer, because people, they don't buy because of benefits. They might hire you, I don't know, because they like you, but if people really don't know you that well, and for the most part, the reason they're going to pay you money is because there is something specific that they want to achieve. And you, for whatever reason, through your story, your money story, through your specialty, you'll be able to help them achieve that specifically. And that's a big deal. So what is your solution that you'll be able to offer? And then another thing to consider as well is, what are you going to charge? What is your fee? And I can't give a lot of good advice here because I never had to charge. I've done consulting, and I know you can do the hourly thing. You could do some sort of package deal where, hey, maybe you can buy for 1 hour of my time, I charge $150 an hour, but if you want to buy 3 hours, you can get that for $400. That could be a thing. Or 6 hours, you can get it at a discounted rate. There's a variety of different ways that you can do. And having somewhat knowledge and experience with the FinCon community, I know that there are quite a few FinConners that are also financial coaches. And there's one, and I'll be honest, I've never actually met her. I've seen her at FinCon, and FinCon is the financial blogging conference. Her name is Whitney Hansen, and she is a financial coach. And she also offers, I think, a bunch of different programs to, like here, I thought I saw become a financial coach. She offers, check this out, she offers a course on everything that you need to know how to become a financial coach. It's something she's been doing, looks like, for 10 years. And here is an interview. I don't have a link to all this in the description, but this was on the FinCon. I think they have a podcast also on their YouTube channel where basically it just highlights how she shares her story, how she was able to go, I think she had a lot of debt after paying off $30,000 in 10 months and then going to making $100,000 a year as a financial coach. So this is somebody that has done it. I don't think that she started it full-time. So, starting at part-time, something that you are also interested in doing. So you might be able to learn something from her story and apply that to yours as well, so that you can understand the types of clients that you're trying to find, and also how much you want to charge. What is there an hourly thing? Maybe you have a package that you want, like, hey, here's my I used to have the thing on my website called the Money Dominating Toolkit, but my money dominating coaching program, and you can get that for $9.97 and then outline everything that it offers. There's so many different ways that you can slice and dice it, but the key is that you want to know what you're worth and not be afraid to ask people to pay for your time and for your expertise and your services.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, I hope that first part was helpful. I know, Chris, you also asked near the end, what was the most important thing that I did in building my own business? And for me, I can go a few different ways, but like growing the financial planning practice, one of the key things for me was trying to find as many people that I could tell my story to. And that was just not so much like, once again, going back to my money story, and then understanding, what were their pain points with their money, with their money situation or investing. What were the things that they were trying to do that they didn't have a good understanding? And, could I offer any help as far as like Roth IRAs, college savings plan, 401ks? And the more that I was able to share, my story, and also get a chance to learn what other people were going through. It was helpful to know the things that I needed to spend my time on understanding even more, like spend some more time researching, having some good solutions for these people and some of their money problems or money obstacles that they were coming into. So finding anybody that was willing to meet me for lunch or for coffee to tell, my money story. Also was connecting with other professionals. Now, this may not apply so much in your situation, but for me, it was like I wanted to connect with other attorneys, CPAs. There really don't any money coaches back in the day, but really connecting those type of professionals just so I can get to know them, know their story. They can find out about me and what my beliefs were, and that just increased that likelihood that they would refer other people to me. So that's one thing that you could look into. And you may find other money coaches in your area or financial coaches and see what their specialty is. Maybe you decide that you want to focus on student loans. Like you want to help people pay off student loans because that was your own story. And when you find these other financial coaches that maybe they don't have a specialty, or their specialty is more for young families or something else that doesn't necessarily reflect student loans, what you are passionate about, well, you might be able to let them know, listen, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I do. Here's the type of people I'm looking for. So now they have a good understanding of the services that you offer, what you're passionate about. If they have anybody that doesn't fit their program or their services, they'll be more apt to refer them to you. Just another way to connect and meet people and find out what they're doing, find out their money story, and just continue to make those connections. And that's something for me, not so much with like a financial coach, but actually let me look him up real quick. So his name is Damon Day. And whenever I got really big into this, helping people pay off debt, I had this thing called the debt movement. Way back in the day, this is years ago, and I had a lot of people reaching out to me that wanted help with helping them pay off debt. Like just they had some really insane amounts of debt. Some of them had looked into like debt consolidation, and this was just something that really wasn't the type of client that I was looking for. For me, it was looking for people that are more interested in investing. So I was able to connect with Damon Day, who is a money coach. I'm not sure actually what he calls himself, a debt coach. That's kind of what I would call him. And that's basically what he did. Like he really helped people that had just a lot of debt. Maybe they tried some other like debt elimination schemes and just got burned. And he wanted to help these people out. And I was able to refer several people his way just because it made a ton of sense. It wasn't a good fit for what I was looking for with my business, but it made a ton of sense for him. And just because we made that connection, I was able to refer people to him. So don't discount like just reaching out to people, making these connections. You never know who you're going to meet and how it may help you down the line. So anyway, that's what I have to say about becoming a part-time financial coach. Is it viable? And then if I were to do it, I guess the last thing I would close with is, if you truly want to grow this thing, why not also share a lot of your expertise on social media, whether that be on Facebook, or if you're good at doing TikToks, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe starting a podcast, something where you are sharing your story, sharing your money story, and also just sharing like what you've learned by talking with others about their finances. And this is actually a good thing. If you really want to do this and grow this thing, it's a good way to build that base, especially as a financial coach, since you don't have the securities license. So you don't have the compliance restrictions that licensed financial planners have, something that I have a lot of experience with that I just dreaded when I first started the blog. You don't have to worry about that right now. It's something you'll have to deal with later on when you become a licensed financial planner. But for now, it's the wild, wild west, man. It's like it's free game. You can write anything that you want. You can market yourself any way that you want to, and you could do so without anybody, without Big Brother watching, without getting in trouble. So yeah, that would be another last thing that I would encourage. Either way, Chris, I really appreciate the question. I hope some of this advice and some of my experience is helpful to you or anybody else is interested in becoming a part-time financial coach. As a reminder, if you have an interest in getting a question answered on a future podcast, once again, go to goodfinancialsense.com/ask. Submit your question, and there is a good chance that we'll be able to answer that question on a future podcast. As always, this is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace.